Now let's get to some of your late news headlines, and then there were two. That's how many inmates from last week's daring New Orleans jailbreak remain at large. After a high-speed chase and dramatic standoff, police arrested escapees Leo Tate and Jermaine Donald yesterday, just north of Houston, Texas, 400 miles away from the jail they broke out of in New Orleans 11 days earlier. Linton Van Buren was also arrested Monday, about an hour away in Baton Rouge. Two inmates still remain at large tonight after 10 men ripped this toilet from the wall behind it and ran out. So far, 13 accomplices have been arrested. In Orleans Parish, District Attorney Jason Williams says forensic results could reveal more.
My digital forensics team is continuing to comb through hours and hours of jail calls. This team has already yielded just some real nuggets in terms of who these individuals talked to the night before.
The DA says this escape might have been prevented. A few inmates attempted to break out 2 weeks prior, something he says the sheriff didn't report to the public. President Trump went on to a pardoning spree that included reality TV stars. But first, a former sheriff has been spared a prison term that he was set to begin today. Former Sheriff Scott Jenkins was convicted of federal bribery and fraud charges back in December for accepting tens of thousands of dollars in cash in exchange for badges for wealthy businessmen. The president announced the pardon on Memorial Day, one day before Jenkins was set to begin serving a 10-year prison term, arguing the case was mishandled by a Biden judge and also weaponized by Justice Department. The president also unveiled more pardons, saying he is about to issue pardons for Todd and Julie Chrisley, reality TV stars convicted of fraud and tax evasion, whose daughter spoke at last year's Republican National Convention. Today, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced new guidelines related to the COVID-19 vaccine. The CDC's Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices typically considers changes to vaccine schedules and guidelines before a final recommendation. In this case, Kennedy made that decision without their input. He was joined in his announcement by the heads of the FDA and the National Institutes of Health.
Last year, the Biden administration urged healthy children to get yet another COVID shot despite the lack of any clinical data to support the repeat booster strategy in children.
That ends today. It's common sense and it's good science.
There's no evidence healthy kids need it today, and most countries have stopped recommending it for children.
Until now, health officials recommended COVID vaccinations for everyone 6 months and older. This change to COVID vaccine recommendations comes a week after the FDA announced the agency planned to restrict the use of COVID shots to older adults and to adults and children with underlying health conditions.